In my video on Cryptid Lost Media, I mentioned a giant eel that was photographed in Minnesota. The story comes from an episode of the podcast The Haunted Sea, hosted by Scott Martis. In one episode, Scott was talking about giant eels with Bill McDonald, a cryptozoology researcher. Bill claimed that in Minnesota, there was a creature called the Pine Lake Monster. He also claimed that the carcass of the monster was photographed. This photo was contained in a book that Bill had. The book was very rare. Bill had obtained a copy from a guy who had stolen it from the county. He said that if the county knew he had the photo, they'd probably sue him. Apparently, they really didn't want it to be released. Bill described the image as a really bad photo showing a giant eel. The people of the town had been photographed with the creature. Now, for a while, that was as far as the story went. Bill only briefly talked about the photo and gave us practically no leads, so I really didn't think it would be found. But then some cryptozoology enthusiasts began looking deeper into this story. They dug up a book titled True Tall Tales from the Land of Sky Blue Waters by Matthew Maida. Guess what was on the cover? That's right, a photo of a giant something. Like Bill said, the quality of the photo is really poor, though someone found a higher quality scan later. You can see a bunch of people in the back of the photograph like Bill described in the podcast. According to the book, the story behind the photo is that it was taken in 1910 after whatever the creature was washed up dead on the beach of Big Pine Lake. The locals called it Oscar. Over the years, other monsters washed up on the beach, and photos were even taken of them, however these photos were not in the book. The owner of the photo was a Jim Cords, who forbade unauthorized reproduction of the photo. Jim also has a book called Pine County and Its Memories, but we weren't able to get a copy of it. Since Jim didn't want the photo to be shared, that would explain why the photo was rare. So what could the creature be? Whatever is in the photo is obviously very long, and the largest freshwater eels in North America, the American eel, only reach a length of about 4 feet, or 1.2 meters. I initially thought that the photo was some sort of sturgeon, but even sturgeon don't reach that length. Additionally, I was sent some reports on the wildlife in Big Pine Lake, and it seemed like the largest fish there, the muskie, only reach about 6 feet or 1.8 meters in length. It also could be a large piece of driftwood or simply a hoax made by the townspeople. So what was the Pine Lake Monster? The answer is an oarfish. No, not an oarfish from Pine Lake, but actually one from California. While I was looking into the photo, I shared it with some people to see if they had any ideas as to what it was. 2 of them figured out that it was actually a photo of an oarfish, not a giant eel, that was taken in Orange County, California, way back in 1907. So the likely story is that an author wrote a book containing tall tales of Minnesota, including what's probably a fake story about a giant eel in Pine Lake. He then adds the photo of the oarfish to the book and tries to pass it off as a photo of a giant eel. Bill McDonald then obtains the book and reads the story and thinks that the photo is actually of a giant eel. And that's the story of where the missing Pine Lake eel photo came from and how it was found. I am still interested in the book Pine County and Its Memories by Jim Cords, as that might be where the legend originates from, and nobody has gotten a copy yet. Remember that it was claimed that Jim held ownership of the photo and forbade unauthorized reproduction of it, so that book may have more information. But I'm going to put this piece of Cryptid Lost Media into the found category. Big thank you to Enigma, Crofter Number 2, Tyler Greenfield, and Hyde Toshi for helping out with this video. This video is brought to you by my patrons, Timothy and Wild World. Wild World also has a YouTube channel that delves into cryptozoology, so go check that out if you're interested. If you'd like to support my channel, check me out on Patreon, link will be in the description, as well as links to my other social media accounts. If you'd like to see more Cryptid Lost Media, including the story of the lost Irish giant eel photos, the link to that video series will be in the description as well. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.